Over in South Africa, despite a deepening strike by its workers, the South African Airways says it intends to reinstate 6 continental flights from Tuesday. Customers traveling on the airline's regional network to Accra, Lagos, Lusaka, Maputo, Windhoek and Harare would be rebooked. The airline also says all international services are operating as normal. Flights were cancelled over the weekend after thousands of employees went on strike over wages and the national carriers' plan to restructure. Negotiations of the weekend ended without an agreement. The striking unions have threatened to shut down the entire aviation sector by extending the strike beyond the state-run airline to other airlines the SAA has relied on to make alternative arrangements for its customers. The union's demands include an 8% wage increase, but South Africa Airways is offering 5.9%. The striking workers also want outsourced services to be brought back in-house for plans to axe more than 900 jobs to be stopped. They say workers are tired of taking the hit for years of management failures. SAA, which has not made a profit since 2011, is reliant on government bailouts to survive. It says it needs to cut the costs. Meanwhile, an assessment team from the UN mission in Sudan, South Sudan, that is, has visited the town of Tombura to monitor the situation on the ground in the remote area of the Western Equatorial region. Following the extension of pre-transitional period to form a new government of national unity, Tombura has been accommodating internally displaced persons from neighboring villages since the conflict erupted.
During the rainy season, a 183-kilometer road connecting Yambio and Tombura in a remote area of the Western Equatorial region of South Sudan becomes a 2-day journey even on board robust vehicles of the UN peacekeeping mission in South Sudan. Angelina Angui fled her village after witnessing the killing of her relatives and elders. She is now hopeful for peace in her country. Faith groups have been working in collaboration with UN Mission to create conditions for peaceful coexistence among different communities in the area. So far, a lot has been achieved, including grassroots initiatives that resulted in the release of child soldiers earlier this year.
We were able to face the people in the bush, and we managed to bring out of the bush over 10,000 young men who were there ready to kill, ready to fight. And in fact, we were many times, I don't want to talk about how many times we were humiliated by these boys in the bush, but yet we kept on.
Combating hatred among communities seems to be high on the list of priorities.
We will still pursue communities who are still at odds with one another. There is still a tribalism in our community. People still define themselves by their tribes.
Working with people of South Sudan to build durable peace is a key part of the mandate of UN MISS.
We want to have a dialogue between the communities on what they have, what are the opportunities for development in the communities, what are the challenges they face, what are the threats that they think that they can overcome, and the strengths and weaknesses, such that we can proactively drive the communities towards building their own resilience, as well as moving towards early recovery and development now that the crisis itself is over, so that you have communities that can resist shock, but also communities that are aiming towards a higher goal.
Tombura had been accommodating internally displaced persons from the neighboring villages since the conflict erupted in South Sudan, including 198 households who were received in the town earlier this year.